There are two main ways of animating movement, frame by frame and pose to pose. Frame by frame is just drawing straight through, like so. Pose to pose is first drawing the extremes, then the intermediates, then drawing in between the intermediates to give smooth movement. With pose to pose, the animator can see the movement before they do too much work, so they can fix any errors early on. But with frame by frame, the animator would need to redraw many frames to get the desired effect. Another con with frame by frame is that the scaling of the drawing may change and create the problem of looking bad. Frame by frame was not used until computer animation was created, as the animators would waste valuable paper if they made a mistake, whereas now animators can just delete the frames in the computer program the animator is using. Most animators use a combination of both methods, drawing the extremes and the intermediates, then going frame by frame in between the intermediates to get the desired effect. Next, there are principles of animation from the book Disney Animation: The Illusion of Life by the animators Ollie Johnston and Frank Thomas, published in 1981. Even though it was published over 35 years ago, it's still completely relevant. One of the principles was frame by frame and pose to pose, which I just covered, so I'll move on to the squash and stretch principle. Squash and stretch are present in most two-dimensional animation, as in three-dimensional animation it would take forever to do this. Squash and stretch are when the motion causes stretching and squashing in animation, obviously. Here's a ball bouncing without squash and stretch, and here's one bouncing with squash and stretch. Many people, when they first learn this principle, will change the amount of area in the shape like this. This is very unrealistic and makes the animation look terrible, so animators have to make sure that there is a constant amount of area on the object. Even horses have squash and stretch. The next principle would be staging. That means that the animator makes sure that only one thing is happening at the same time, and that the object is large enough in the scene. This is sort of two-in-one principle because both concepts both have the same generalization. The first part of this principle is very important. If an animator has a scene like this where there are many things happening at once and the viewer can't see anything at once, is bad staging. The animator wants a scene where the animation can say, look at this, then look at this, then look at this other thing. With complicated scenes like battles, this is almost impossible to do, so this part of staging doesn't apply there. Another form of bad staging is if the animator makes the scene very small or very large. This mistake is normally present in frame-by-frame animation when the animator is not using onion skin, which shows the previous frame or frames depending on the animator settings. The next principle is anticipation. This is when, for example, a ballerina must bend her legs before jumping, or when a golfer must wind up its golf club before swinging. This is present in all motion, whether in the real world or in animation. Some animations, like my first, don't have anticipation and can make someone jumping look like they took off flying. You can clearly see this in an animation of Simba from Lion King. You can clearly see Simba's legs bending before jumping, and Simba's legs bending after landing. The next principle is follow-through and overlapping action. The definition given by the book is this: bodies in motion do not move all at once. More rather, different parts of the body may move at different speeds. Therefore, as one part of the body stops, another part, such as an arm, may overlap or follow through the main action, slowly settling to a stop. This can be shown in this image sequence of a squirrel. The next principle is slow in and slow out. This means exactly what it sounds like. The object starts by moving slowly, then in the middle it moves at full speed, then it slows again at the end of the movement. This is usually used in physics-based scenes like this ball, where the ball is slow at the beginning, is fast in the middle, and then slow at the end. There isn't too much to this principle, it's just basically animation knowledge. This next animation is of a ball bouncing, but it doesn't exactly do squash and stretch. The next principle is arc. Arc means that most things move in an arced trajectory. Only robots move in straight lines. For example, a batter swinging the bat in an arced trajectory. Here is a batter swinging his bat. You can clearly see the arc in his bat and his arms. Arc can be also in unexpected places. A person landing on the ground has arc right at the end. The person lands and his whole body moves in a very small circle. That motion is subtle but makes the animation look 10 times better. The last principle of animation is timing. Timing is exactly what it sounds like. Make sure that everything is at the right speed and is lifelike. Someone walking isn't going to be moving very fast or very slow. It must be at the correct speed. For example, with the ball again. If it's going too slow or too quick, it's not following timing. This is very important. Sometimes beginner animators, such as me, animate too little frames for the movement, so it goes by very quickly. You may think now, oh, he's done with the principles of animation. He must be completely done. No, I haven't gone over lip syncing. Lip syncing is animating lips for talking. This is most likely the most time-consuming part of animating, as mouths move a lot. To achieve lip syncing, there are key sounds in a word, such as tot. There's the sharp T sound at the start, the ah sound in the middle, and then the sharp T sound again. Some animators have a mirror to look at their mouths while speaking, while others have a chart like this one to show different mouth positions for different sounds. Animators must remember to connect the lip movements with in-between frames to make it smoother. This is only relevant in slow talking. Finally, this is the end of the video. I hope you liked this video as much as I liked making it. If you have any questions, make sure to ask future me, and I'll try to answer as I can. Also, this is from Chloe. Chloe says this project is cool. Winky face, winky face, winky face, smiley face. She just wrote that on my computer while I was distracted, so thanks, Chloe. Anyways, thanks for paying attention, hopefully. Bye. These are my sources.